Hello, everyone. Welcome to this audio fan commentary. Tomorrow Never Dies.
Tomorrow Never Lies. Joking.
What it should have been called. Just the second Pierce Brosnan James Bond adventure. Second out of 4. Right. We already commentated on his last one, Die Another Day, which, well, let's just say the film doesn't exist. But this
it's
one,
in the box set.
yeah, as well as this one by Jack, as normal. And this was released 20 years ago in 1997, so it's as old as I am.
Yeah, see me, I was born. Yeah.
Were you born in 97?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. I thought you were born in 98.
No, 97.
Good for you. Yeah, I think we were both born in the year it was out. I mean, not that I was taken to see it, and I'm glad I wasn't.
I mean, you would have been only a couple of months old. Like,
I was born in February 97, so I would have been probably about 10 months or maybe 9 months.
Yeah, I mean, like, you were still a baby, though. I mean, like,
yeah,
they couldn't really take you to see it, but
yeah, I wouldn't have wanted to anyway. So anyway, like all the other commentaries, we're not fans. We're just people commentating on this Bond movie. This isn't for financial gain whatsoever. Just a bit of fun. Well, we're trying to have fun anyway. If you want to follow along, put your DVD or Blu-rays in, put your timestamps to 0, and then when we press play, you can press play also. It's the best we can do, I'm afraid. So yeah, is there anything you want to say, Jack, before we start?
Well, the Bond producers on this film, they made their bed.
Yeah, and it's worthy to note that this was actually dedicated to Cubby Broccoli, sadly.
Unfortunately, yeah.
Okay, let's begin. 3, 2, 1. Play!
No!
Oh, it's Leo the Lion. How you doing, you fat fuck?
I wish this was a Tom and Jerry cartoon I was watching at the start with the lion instead of this film.
Was this the last time they used United Artists for the Bond movies?
I don't know. Possibly, yeah.
Oh, and the return of the gun barrel.
This gun barrel, I'm sorry, it's just so lazy. Like Brosnan's pose.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah,
Brosnan's pose is just so bland.
Yeah,
And the music.
I mean, the design of the barrel is nice. I like it. It's sleek, but it's his gun barrel. He just turns around and shoots. That's it. There's no It just lacks so much impact.
Yeah, he doesn't even give a pose or anything, and the music is just a bit bland. Like,
it's just the Bond theme, isn't it?
Yeah. CGI gun barrel, I'm not a big fan of it. I prefer the older one. I'm glad they brought that back for Spectre. I mean, this opening sequence has nothing to do with it. Honest, it's crap. I mean, I don't really care for this opening scene. Like,
it's basically, like you say, it's nothing to do with the main plot. It's just something to introduce the film for no reason.
Yeah. You know, I know there are fans. Guys, I mean, I know my cousin is a fan of it. Because I mean, my cousin's like 27, and he would have seen this film when it came out in cinema. So it's his favorite Bond film, and I know Alan puts it in his top 10 Bond films. But for me, it's just a generic video game action romp. It's more like a XXX film than a Bond film.
Yeah, I mean, Judi Dench as M is probably the best thing about this film.
Yeah, I mean the plot. I mean, we'll get to that in a minute. It's just one of the worst plots in any Bond film. I mean, you know, I tries, but the villain Elliot Carver is just a nothing villain, and and the plot is just rubbish. Like,
yeah,
you know,
I can't take it seriously. It's just ridiculous.
I mean Golden.
It's not as like mind fucked as Die Another Day, but it's it comes off as a mild parody.
Yeah,
bad sign.
I mean, GoldenEye, I was harsh on it in my review. Like, I sort of bashed GoldenEye. I was okay. Yeah, I mean, at least GoldenEye was competent. At least it had a storyline you could follow. I mean, even though it was weird, there were some weird things in that film. At least, at least there was some storyline. Like, at least this storyline was competent, and it was better than this. I'd have to say the storyline for GoldenEye was much better, and there were better action scenes in that than this.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, for me, this is just a. For me, I mean, the action in this isn't bad, but I mean, it just gets really ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like,
it takes over the film.
Yeah, it's like a video game. Like every action next level in a video game.
Oh.
Did Roger Spottiswoode direct this, or was it McCullough head?
It was Roger Spottiswoode.
Yeah.
His direction is a bit shoddy. He doesn't really know what to do. It's too formulaic.
Yeah.
It doesn't have any credibility.
Yeah. I mean this for me, like you said, it's more of a XXX film than a Bond film. It's more just of a action romp than anything else.
Yeah. I mean, there's no tension in this scene. Like, what the hell's going on? We don't even know what's going on yet.
Yeah, it's a terrorist arms deal or whatever, but they're going to try and blow it up. Why?
And the CGI is a bit dated.
Yeah.
I mean
one thing I will say, Tomorrow Never Dies uses quite a bit of CGI for some of the action scenes, like Die Another Day does.
I think GoldenEye was when they really started to introduce the CGI for the Bond movies.
Yeah, I mean, thankfully they ditched all that with Casino Royale. They went back to practical effects.
Yeah. I mean, you do find a smidge of CGI in Skyfall, but
yeah, in Casino Royale you have a little bit of CGI, but for the most part, all the action
not noticeable.
Yeah, for the most part, the action scenes in the Craig films are all real. This introduction's awful. Like when he says "filthy habit," it's like how many times has Bond in the past smoked a cigarette? Like,
yeah, according to Ian Fleming, he smokes 20 a day. This makes him a big fucking hypocrite.
Not only that, but like, why would he light his cigarette in the first place? Just so you can have that stupid one-liner.
Yeah, the one-liners aren't very good.
Yeah. I mean, I think Brosnan's a bit better here than he is in GoldenEye, but that's not saying much. He's just kind of he's just a generic action man.
Yes. I mean, I did like that line. What's he doing? His job.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I don't know the way like Roger Spottiswoode here is like directing the action. It's just, I don't know. He does it in a really weird way. Like the actually cut. Like people complain in Quantum of Solace that the action's too quick, but I think some of the action, the way it's cut here, is a bit too quick.
Yeah.
I mean, to be honest, I don't know what's going on here. Why is Bond why is he stealing the plane? Why is he like destroying a terrorist's arms deal?
Like
I don't get it.
They put the action first and then the plot second, when that shouldn't be the case. I mean, at least Quantum of Solace, you knew what was going on with the story. I mean, yeah, it was too short and it was cut quickly, but I still was able to understand what was going on.
Yeah, I mean, this opening action scene, I don't understand what's going on. Why is he stealing a plane? Why is he destroying arms deal? Like, I don't understand it. Like, what? Like, why is he doing this?
Yeah.
It just, I mean, I just think they put this in just to have an action scene.
Yeah.
That I'll try spinning. That's a good trick.
Yeah. I think Roger Spottiswoode's attitude to this film is just like, let's just make another Bond movie.
Yeah.
Really? That's it.
I mean, I have to say this, and I think most people agree. I think the direction of the Bond films under Brosnan just got really lazy. Like,
yeah.
I mean, the Brosnan films, for me, the only reason that they were made was because, yeah, let's make another Bond film. Yeah. Let's see how much money we can get.
I'll say this. This movie isn't as bad as Die Another Day simply because At least this movie made with a clear head. Die Another Day was made by people who didn't know what the fuck they were doing. Tamahori in particular. And,
Yeah.
you know, I don't understand that man for the life of me. But, I mean, Luis Rogers Spottiswoode kind of had his head in the right place. But obviously, it didn't work what he was trying to do.
Yeah. I want to know, who's the black guy?
Oh, that's, what's his name? One of the actors called, I can't remember what his character's name is.
Yeah.
Oh!
Yeah, I'm sorry, but the faces Brosnan makes when he's in pain or when he's attacked, they just look ridiculous to me. Like,
yeah, like, ah!
I'm just laughing. I'm sorry. I mean, I know there are Brosnan fans out there who like this film and like Brosnan as Bond, but I don't know, like when he makes those pain faces, like someone uploaded a video to YouTube, Brosnan's pain faces, like God. No.
Don't get me wrong. I'm sure this was great to see in the cinema. Like, the spectacle is great, but that's all.
Did you see that CGI there, though? Did you see that terrible CGI when he ejected the guy? Oh.
That was just a ball.
I mean, Brosnan. Yeah. Brosnan himself as an actor, he's actually not too bad. Like I've seen him in a few things where he's actually quite good. I don't think he's a terrible actor. I just think for Bond, he just didn't really. I think the scripts really let him down, and
yeah.
I think the scripts let him down, and he himself just didn't really seem to care that much. Like,
oh God, I hate this song.
Yeah, this title sequence I don't like either. I mean, the title sequence is okay, but
it's
once
just
you get,
weird. Like,
yeah, what
cybernetic women and the what? Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, like, what's with the X-ray thing?
Like, what the fuck? It makes no sense.
I agree. I agree with you. It's the Sheryl Crow song. It's just very lazy. She just sounds bored.
She sounds like she has a sore throat.
Yeah, yeah. This thing here, what the fuck? It's just weird.
Until the
Yeah, I mean, I like Daniel Kleinman, but his title sequence here is just so weird. Like, I just don't like the cybernetic woman thing.
way. Yeah, it doesn't look right.
It just looks creepy.
Ugh.
I'm sorry. The cybernetic women look creepy. Like, it's freaky rather than it being sexy. Tomorrow never.
They should have used the song.
I think
that was in the credits, Surrender. That would have been way better than this song, because this is crap.
It is. I mean, I used to think it was okay, but listening to it now, it's rubbish. I mean, they did this at the last minute, I think, as well, to replace another song.
What, to replace the Surrender song?
Yeah. I mean, I like Daniel Kleinman, his title sequences for the Craig era, but his title sequences for the Brosnan era, I just find so weird. I just find them so odd. Like, I mean, in the next one, the world oil women or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, these cybernetic women, I'm sorry, but they're creepy. Like, I don't want to see this.
Until the day. Let's show ourselves.
Until the world falls away.
What's with the diamonds? These diamonds are forever now.
I heard somewhere that Jonathan Pryce character is supposed to say like diamonds around a girl's neck is like a satellite or something, but they cut that line from the film or something.
Like, there's a woman diving onto a bloody satellite screen thing. It makes no sense.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah,
Ugh.
Roger Spottiswoode. He's been like he's like I don't know. He's been like an executive producer and things before, like films before, and he's been in film productions before. But I just don't think he's a very good director.
Yeah, he was the wrong person to direct the Bond movie. I mean, this scene is kind of like, I think, like some of those scenes with Roger Moore era.
Yeah, The Spy Loved Me. It kind of reminds me of that.
Somebody there, it's like, oh yeah, I've seen this before. Where have I seen this before?
Spy Loved Me. I just think this whole plot here with like the British and Chinese, you know, like Carver trying to cause World War III between the British and the Chinese so we can get broadcasting rights. It's just so stupid. I'm sorry. I mean, I know Bond films in the past have had ridiculous plots, but you know, you're going to start World War III between Russia and China all because you want the broadcasting rights.
What?
Fucking stupid.
I mean, this is the 1990s. You know, we're supposed to be taking things a bit more seriously now. I mean, after License to Kill, especially. But no, they're. It's a plot that you would expect to find in a Bond parody, you know?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I said this in my review. It's like, you know, somebody trying to cause World War III, you know, so they can open up a Cadbury's place in, like, you know,
like Cadbury's factory.
Yeah, like in China or whatever. It's dumb. I'm sorry. I mean, I know Bond plots are ridiculous, but this is just stupid. It's just so. It's like, you know, if you want broadcasting rights, pay them money, give them a lot of money, or like you said, write them a letter.
Yeah, ask nicely, but no.
No, if you want broadcasting rights, give them money. Just give them money. I mean, Elliot Carver's wealthy enough. I'm sure if he paid the Chinese government enough, they would give him the broadcasting rights. No. And so 3 between China and Britain. But I mean, what I don't understand is, I don't even understand. It's like, if he caused World War III between China and Britain, if they found out that he was the one who caused this war, China would never give him broadcasting rights.
Yeah, he certainly wouldn't get paid for it as well.
Yeah.
Like,
if he caused this war, China aren't going to give him the bloody broadcasting rights.
Yeah. Oh, what? Out of the Carvers, I'd rather have Brosnan Carver right than no.
Yeah. I mean, talking about some of the other henchmen, like Stomper, he's just so crap. He's just Stamper or whatever, Stomper, whatever the shit. He's just a generic villain. He's just a generic henchman. Like, oh, I am a blonde henchman. Oh, God. Yeah, I mean, Stamper, he's nothing. I mean, he's no Red Grant. He's no, you know, yeah. He's no Oddjob or Jaws. He's just your generic muscle man.
Yeah, exactly. But he has no personality.
Yeah. Yeah, there's nothing defining about him. He's just got muscles, that's it.
He's got pecs.
Yeah.
He kind of looks like Necklace. He looks like it, but he's not. He's honestly the crappiest of him.
Knock, knock. Oh. Great line. I mean, I just think the Brosnan era takes a massive dive after GoldenEye. I mean, for me, my problem with the Brosnan era is that it's just too generic. Like, the Dalton films tried to take risks, and I guess you could say License to Kill went too far. But my problem with the Brosnan films is they play it too safe. They play it too safe. They just make Bond a generic action man. There's no real like character development for Bond in the Brosnan films.
It's too formulaic.
Yeah.
But, I mean, even GoldenEye to an extent.
No, I agree. I mean, I think my problem with the Brosnan films is that the Dalton films took all those risks, and I guess License to Kill did go too far. But my problem with GoldenEye and all the other Brosnan films is that they're just too formulaic. They didn't take any risks. They played it too safe. They didn't give Bond any development as a character. I mean, I'm sorry, but you know, Brosnan.
It wasn't License to Kill made during like an AIDS scandal or something. There was like some AIDS thing going on. So
Yeah, but I mean, the problem that wasn't the problem with it. It was the problem with it is that it went too dark and gritty, and people turned off to it. So they thought, oh, let's go back to the Roger Moore era. Let's make a more generic sort of formulaic Bond films. And my problem with Brosnan's Bond is his character has no progression. You know, in the
shot in slow motion. Why did they have that shot in slow motion?
Yeah. But I mean, would you say it's a problem that Brosnan's Bond goes on no character development? He's just the same as he is in the first film that he's in.
Yeah, I think they realised that. So with Daniel Craig in Casino Royale, they went back to the beginning. They started to develop him as a character, and that has remained consistent throughout all 4 of his movies, and hopefully his 5th one. Yeah, Brosnan, because I don't think he knew what to do with the part, so they just kind of thought, let's just make another movie, and it just kind of they just went back to how they did before, because they probably thought, oh, no one likes Dalton movies, let's go back to what we did before, because people like that. It doesn't work. It's out of time. If Brosnan was a Bond in the 70s or 60s, he may have worked. He may have worked. But not in the 90s.
But it's not only that, but it's like a pale imitation of the Roger Moore and Connery films. It's just a pale, like they're trying to have the humor of the Moore films and the grittiness of some of the Connery films, and they try to mesh it all together, and it just doesn't work.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's totally inconsistent.
Yeah, and I mean, apparently Elliot Carver's supposed to be based on Rupert Murdoch, but I don't even think Rupert Murdoch would go so far as to cause World War III to have broadcasting rights, Yeah, it's just stupid.
I mean, the movie's well shot, I'll give it that, but I don't know what the fuck is going on with the plot.
Yeah. And this scene where they kill all the sailors, it reminds me of that scene in A View to a Kill where Max Zorn kills all the workers. It's like you're trying to copy that and make it doesn't work.
Like, the problem with Elliot Carver, he's not threatening. It's not Jonathan Pryce's fault. He tried. But it's the,
I mean, the thing is, at the end of the day, he's a newspaper outlet. He's the head of a newspaper corporation. How are we supposed to find him threatening?
Yeah. He's not physically threatening to Bond. And he's not like Blofeld where he's, manipulative, mentally. He's just nothing. Like, he's got no character.
He's just the head of a news corporation. That's it. He's head of a newspaper tomorrow. He's not threatening. And not only that, but how does the head of a newspaper company have access to all these ships with missiles and stuff? I don't get that.
He must have hacked into the some nuclear codes or something. I don't know. It's never explained.
Yeah. I like this scene where you have Michael G. Wilson there as one of his guys.
Oh yeah.
Who...
I was trying to look out for Michael G. Wilson Inspector, but I couldn't see him.
Was he in that film?
I thought he might have been.
And Michael G. Wilson, consider him slimed.
Also, Gupta, he's a terrible henchman as well.
Yeah, he's just a fat guy. I mean, I don't have any problem with fat people, but he's not threatening.
He's an old man.
I mean, that's the thing. Yeah, that's the thing. He's the head of a newspaper corporation. How does he have access to all these, guns and, warships and missiles and all that? How does he have access to that? He's just the head of a corporation.
Yeah.
And it's not only that, but it's am I supposed to find a newspaper man scary? It's like, it would be like, doing a,
today's headline, you will die. Ooh.
Yeah.
I'm so
no, it's like, could you imagine Bond, and it's basically you get the head of the Daily Telegraph trying to cause,
I mean, this speech as well, I want to be on the air 24 hours a day. What?
Yeah.
I just can't take it seriously.
Yeah, I mean, what to understand is, right, he wants to get broadcasting rights by causing World War III. So he can destabilize China and all that. Just so you can get broadcasting rights and be the head media mogul. But what is the point of that? Why don't you, if you're going to cause that...
He already has everything.
Yeah, but it's like if you're going to cause that much upset and war. Oh, there's a nice cameo there with the Aston Martin DB5. But anyway, if you're going to cause that much like panic and destruction, why is your only aspiration the news? Why don't you like try and aspire to take over China or Britain? Why don't you try and take over the world? No, instead, I'm going to cause World War III so I can become the top broadcaster, not so I could become the leader of the world or leader of America or China or Britain or something like that. No, just so I can be the leader of the news. What's pointless?
It, it ultimately it adds nothing really. He'll accomplish nothing by doing it really.
Yeah. I mean, the sex scene here of Bond is just so cringy. Like they're trying to make it all sexy, like the clothes are all off and they're like wrapped up in the bed sheets, but it's like, yeah. I mean, for me, the Brosnan films.
Samantha Bond returns
Yeah.
to Moneypenny.
Yeah, for me, the Brosnan films are like 1990s parodies of the like they're like the 90s parody version of like the Roger Moore and Sean Connery Bond films. It's like
Well,
someone.
I do still think that GoldenEye was slightly intriguing in terms of the plot, because obviously the
Yeah,
whole Cold War aspect of it. But yeah, the other three were just God, abysmal.
I mean, GoldenEye was decent. You know, it had at least it had some good things going for it. But I think that's because Dalton was going to be in it originally, so that's why they probably. Yeah, I mean, it's cool to have the DB5 back, but
Yeah, I do like the scene between Bond and M. She says, "Oh, and you can pump her for information."
sorry, who plays Moneypenny in this?
Samantha Bond.
Yeah, lol.
That's probably the only reason why they cast her.
Yeah. I mean, to be honest, I don't really care for her as Moneypenny. Like,
Yeah, she's all right, but she doesn't do anything.
yeah. I mean, I think Naomi Harris and Lois Maxwell kicked the shit out of her.
I mean, thank God that Judi Dench is the only one who's trying in this film. She's giving it everything.
Yeah. I don't have to think with them all the time. What bit are you on?
Scene between M and the Admiral.
Yeah. I mean, it's funny, that guy plays the Admiral, was in Doctor Who, he was in Doctor Who and the Silurians.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
The actor does look familiar.
Yeah. I think he's in the new series as well. That guy plays the Admiral.
Yeah, I did recognise him. I thought he was in the new series.
Yeah. He was in the classic series and the new series.
Sometimes I don't think you have the balls for this job, Em. At least I don't think of them.
Oh, have you just got past that line?
No. You have 48 hours to investigate. Now on to the next thing.
Down, 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 down.
How'd they get the paper out so fast?
I'm sorry, but this guy, this black guy, whatever, like, there's nothing against him, but his character's pointless. Movie.
I can't even remember his character's name.
Yeah. Tomorrow Never Lies. I mean, I think Tomorrow Never Dies is a better name, but
Yeah.
you know, but I mean, I don't know. The name's kind of generic, like.
Party.
I mean, I think the problem with the Brosnan films is as well is that they ran out of source material with his era. Like, I mean, they had the books for Connery and Roger Moore and even for Dalton, but it seemed. I mean, I think they just diverted too much from the books during the Brosnan era.
Yeah. I mean, even Roger Moore said that Die Another Day went too far.
Yeah, I think even Pierce Brosnan admitted that he thought that Tomorrow Never Dies was the worst of his era. I mean, I don't know what he thought of Die Another Day, but I remember he said he thought Tomorrow Never Dies was the weakest of his era, like the worst one he did.
Oh. Carver.
I doubt that you remember me. Oh my!
and then pump her for information.
Can you imagine if you said Cruz and Connor and Eastwood? Oh my!
Oh my God. You can pump her for information. I used to like that line, but thinking about it now, it is cringy.
Yeah. I'm not a huge fan of the remix they did for the Bond theme in this. Like, you know, like
It's all right. But David Arnold is definitely had a sort of a techno influence into the Brosnan soundtrack that he did anyway. To be fair, it's better than Eric Serra's score from the last film.
I just think Brosnan is. I think his problem is he tries to make. Like he said it that he tried to mix all the Bonds into one performance, and he just comes across as really forgettable.
Yeah.
Like it just doesn't work. I mean, like when he, like you know, 1 minute he's trying to be serious, the next he's trying to be like funny. It just doesn't work. It's great to have Desmond Llewellyn though. Like this is be, like the next film will be his final performance. Wasn't enough. Yeah.
I mean, he does look really old by this point.
It was sad though what happened to him. He died in a car crash.
Well, how old was he when he died?
I think he was in his 80s or whatever, 70s or 80s. I mean, one thing I will say is Q's a bit old at this time to know all these gadgets.
Yeah, it's not realistic. But then again, they kind of ditched that in the Daniel Craig era and Ben Whishaw.
Yeah, I mean, you know, Q could get away with it in the Roger Moore era and the Connery era because he was still relatively young. I mean, he was in his 50s or 60s or whatever.
Relevant to the time as well.
Yeah.
But I think for the Craig era, even if Desmond Llewellyn had lived, they would have needed to have updated.
Yeah, I think if he was still alive, he'd have been too old.
Yeah, I think he probably would have retired from the role.
I mean, this gadget is really stupid, like the remote control car or whatever.
Yeah.
I find it really dumb. Like, it's like, oh yes, Bond, you can remote control your car by doing this. It's like, well, you're just making this into a video game now.
But what's the point when you can actually drive it manually?
Yeah, but I'm sorry, like, I don't even think now they have the technology to do that. It's like you're right. Like, why would you need that?
I think this Bond movie, this film is just silly. That's one of the biggest issues with it. It's one of the silliest Bond movies.
I mean, I know I can understand if someone likes it as a fun action, silly romp, but for me, it just doesn't work.
Yeah. Well, it's not a bad action movie, but it's a bad Bond movie.
Yeah.
Sorry, I mean, no disrespect to the Brosnan fans. I mean, if they like it, fine.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I know Alan and my cousin really likes it, but I just find it too ridiculous. Like, the plot is just too stupid. The action is just, you know...
Yeah.
It's just ridiculous. I just... You know, this isn't the plot that you wanted for a Bond film. You know, Bond, you know, when he's going up against villains, he goes up against, you know, like when Bond, when he goes up against villains, he should be going up against terrorists or, you know, people who want to cause the world harm. You know, not fucking newspaper moguls. You know.
I mean, to be honest, you know, what I don't also get is like Elliot and his wife, Paris. Like, there's a bit of an age difference.
Yeah.
Way too young for him. I mean, is that just me or?
Yeah.
James Bond.
Yeah. The delivery of the line, it's okay, but I mean, his delivery in World Is Not Enough is even worse. But it's like Bond, James Bond.
James Bond. Oh God,
Waylon.
Should be wailing in the morning when Bond's done with her.
Yeah, I know. Alan said that. You know, he said like, I think he said our criticism was stupid. That you know she's only there for kung fu. He said that was a stupid criticism, but I'm sorry, I have to stand by that criticism because She's only there for the action. I'm sorry, that's all she's there for. She has no character.
Yeah. Sorry, Adam. I disagree. She's not like the worst Bond girl, but she isn't great.
Yeah. No, I mean Michelle Yeoh's a good actress, but I mean I know Alan said it was a stupid criticism of us saying that she's only there for the action, but I'm sorry, that's all she is there for. She has no personality.
Yeah.
There's Terry Hatcher. I mean,
she's barely in this film. I don't know why they even put her in it.
Yeah. I mean, I remember watching her in The Adventures of Lois and Clark on TV years ago. I used to watch that with my mum, and she was in that. She played Lois Lane in that.
Oh, right.
I think she's very... I don't know. I think her acting's pretty crap in this.
Yeah, she's just a bit wooden. There's also no chemistry with her and Brosnan.
Yeah, even Terry Hatcher said the only reason she was in Tomorrow Never Dies is because her husband said she would that her husband said that he would love it if he met a girl who was a Bond girl. So that's the only reason she was in this film.
Oh.
And even Brosnan said her acting was not very good. Like, even he had problems with Terry Hatcher in the film.
I mean, it gets awkward when they have the bed scene later on.
You laid your egg.
Your husband, maybe.
To be honest, this remember.
Yeah, it's been on for what, 34 minutes.
It hasn't gone very quickly. Hopefully, it'll pick up.
Yeah, as I said earlier, like she seems way too young to be married to Jonathan Pryce.
Yeah.
Elliot Carver. Maybe she only married him because he was wealthy.
Yeah. I think one of my problems with Brosnan as well is he's too smooth as Bond.
Yeah. I don't mind that he's smooth, but it's just that there's no character really.
Yeah.
He can't find what he wants to do. That's why I give him the slight edge over Lazenby, because
I think
certain smoothness. Obviously, you know, if you disagree, fair enough. I definitely nothing.
I think. I think you said it as well. Like Brosnan just whispers all the time. It's hard to hear him talking.
Yeah.
I mean, personally, I take Lazenby over Brosnan because Lazenby was only in one film, and Brosnan, I just think in all his films, just you get nothing from him. You get nothing from him. There isn't really any scene in any of his films that I think, oh, that's a good acting moment. I mean, that's not Brosnan's fault. It's the script and stuff, but. At least with Lazenby, he had those scenes to trace.
I mean, but also, if you look at him, Brosnan is a bit of a pretty boy as well.
Yeah. He's the Hayden Christensen of the Bond franchise.
I don't like sand. It's everywhere.
No, I mean, I just think, Lazenby, even though he was in one film, I did think he had good chemistry with Diana Rigg, and I did like the final scene where, she gets shot and he sort of cries over her. Like, Brosnan doesn't really have any acting scenes that I think are, like, amazing. Like, there's not really a standout acting scene for Brosnan in any of his films.
Lowell Brosnan thought he had all the time in the world to play Bond.
Yeah. I mean, I think he's a nice guy, Brosnan. I mean, he's very... I mean, his wife... my mum said it, and she's right. I mean, his wife is like really fat, but like he doesn't care. He's always been faithful to her. Like he's not like one of these Hollywood guys who just fucks every girl that he sees. He's very faithful to his wife.
Yeah, well, that's good. I mean, he's an honest guy, so that's the main thing. He is. It seems like I mean, it doesn't. I mean, true love doesn't matter physically.
Yeah. And I think he can be a good actor. Like I've seen with some other things, he's been quite good. I mean, he's just, I just don't think he works in Bond because of the scripts and stuff. And I think
as James Bond, he never really quite did it for me.
Yeah, and I think he said he was insecure in the role, and he said he hated delivering the terrible one-liners. He said he hated delivering the one-liners in the Bond films. So, yeah, I mean, yeah.
You're right, it is dragging a bit.
Yeah.
But as you're well aware,
I mean, yeah, Jonathan Pryce. I think he's a good actor, but there's nothing to Elliot Carver. He's like, yeah, I want broadcasting rights. Well, I don't care.
The end of the day.
Yeah.
It's a soundproof room, Mr. Bond. Nobody hears you scream.
Ooh. Yo!
That noises are quite funny.
I'll be there in a few moments.
I mean, Stomper. You may as well call him Stomper because he is just a generic villain.
Yeah.
It's just the noises that Brosnan makes as well, like the ooh, ah. Isn't me, but like Brosnan's Bond gets beat up quite a bit. He just seems a bit like a wimp.
Yeah, he's not like Daniel Craig where he can like beat people up.
Yeah, I mean, if these guys tried to beat up Daniel Craig, he just kicked their fucking arses.
Yeah, I mean Craig in Quantum of Solace beats up like 3 guys single-handedly. His hands cuffed behind his back.
Yeah.
What do I expect in return?
Worldwide domination. Well,
Yeah.
he was honest about his plan, I suppose.
Yeah. I just don't think the humor works in this.
Oh, come on. Is that it for the action? Yeah.
Yeah, the action scenes in this don't seem very real. They just kind of seem cartoony. This movie's really boring.
Yeah, Brosnan isn't as physically fit as Craig or even Connery.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not unfit, but he's just not. He's not like a
Yeah.
or like a goofy guy, you know.
One thing I will say, Brosnan. I've seen like pictures of Brosnan sometimes, and he looks a bit like Roger Moore in some ways. I think.
Maybe that's what they were trying to go for.
I know, but I mean, I've seen like people's like. I've seen like pictures of him online, and sometimes I've looked at Brosnan, and he looks a bit like Roger Moore, like in his Bond films. Yeah, especially when Brosnan gets older. Like, if you look at Brosnan now, or like a few years ago, like when he's gotten older, he's looked a lot like Roger Moore.
Yeah, in Die Another Day.
Yeah. I mean, one thing I will say, Brosnan's aged pretty badly. I mean, he looked terrible in Die Another Day, and ever since then, like when he's been in like those like crap Bond rip-offs like November Man and Survivor, he just looks really old now. Like he's not aged very well.
He's quite old now. He's in his 60s.
Yeah. I mean, even here he looks a bit. I don't know. He looks a little bit.
I mean, he was cast when he was 43. I think he was like in his mid-40s.
Yeah, so about the same age as Roger Moore when he was cast.
Yeah. I'll give Brosnan this. He does look good for his age. Here, he looks good here.
Yeah.
Yes, he's just about to away with it. The ball's not enough, but I think it's stretched too far.
Yeah.
I mean, the movie was crap anyway.
I mean, he was 49 or 50 when he made Die Another Day, and he looked old.
Yeah.
I mean,
he was going to do another 2 more.
Yeah. I mean, even if you think Roger Moore was older and looked old in his last films, I think Roger Moore aged better than Brosnan, for me anyway. Yeah, I mean, this relationship between Paris, I just don't buy it. Like,
yeah, like why would he marry her? She's so young.
Not only that, but Terry Hatcher she just looks so bored in this movie. Like she'd rather be somewhere else.
Yeah, there's no chemistry.
Yeah,
I don't buy these two as husband and wife.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, he's much older than her. Like, he must be like 20 or at least 10 years older than her.
Oh,
ugh.
Disgusting.
Yeah.
Then we have this scene.
Oh God.
He's just like,
You've laid your egg. Yeah. Like when I first heard this line, like "you've made your bed," it's just. I mean, the sex scene in it. They tried to make the sex scenes more saucier in the Brosnan films, but it just doesn't work.
Yeah.
And especially Die Another Day, where Halle Berry like's cutting up the pear and just like, who says I'm good?
Good. This one's still pretty cringy. Turn around and go home.
Yeah, oh God, and the sex scenes of Xenia and Goldeneye, like, yell! Yes! Yell!
Yes! Xenia, I can't breathe. Didn't ask you to get involved.
Well, that depends on your definition of safe sex.
I mean, what suddenly changed her mind about this guy? I mean, yeah, she doesn't have a good relationship with her husband. But...
Yeah, not only that, but it's like, you don't think your husband will find out.
Yeah.
You know,
he's probably watching you right now.
Yeah. He knows if you're going to cheat on him, you know.
Mr. Media Man.
Yeah. I mean, Terry Hatcher's pretty fit, but...
To be fair, I've seen
Yeah.
David Arnold does produce a good score in this scene.
Yeah.
Was it?
Did I get too close for comfort? The dialogue's just so cringy.
Did I get too close for comfort?
Oh, God. Yes, you did. Ugh, God. I mean, the acting and the lines are just so cringy.
Yeah.
It's just so cheesy as well. Like,
like he's biting her like a dog.
Yeah. Oh God, later, like when he's necrophiling her, whatever.
Ooh.
Ooh. I'm liking this.
Her husband wanted to see this.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it... Oh. Yes. We're trying to make this...
Ever fuck before she dies.
Yeah. We're trying to make this saucy, but... I mean...
We're also trying to make it romantic.
He's biting her. Look, he's like biting her like shoulders and stuff.
Yeah. Like, it's you. They're trying to make it romantic. And it's just like, what?
Yeah, like Brosnan's biting her arms and like biting her face. Like, ugh.
I mean, even Daniel Craig, when he's like kissing Madeline on the train, that's done well. Better than this was.
I mean, I'd buy the relationship between Madeline and Daniel Craig's Bond more than Paris and... Yeah.
Yeah.
Ugh, this movie's so slow.
It is actually quite slow.
It's slower than I remembered.
It's actually worse than I remembered.
Yeah.
This is definitely down there as like one of the worst Bond movies.
Yeah. I think you put it number 23 in your ranking.
Well, I think it's going to stay there.
Yeah.
I put it over Die Another Day, but that ain't saying much.
I loved your review. You're like, I tried to like it, guys, but it was just crap.
Right. It's a video game.
Yeah. I mean, just the drama and the characters, I just don't give a shit about.
There you go.
One last fuck!
Yeah.
Can you imagine if this was Roger Moore? It's time for lesson number 3.
Yeah. Learn to fuck properly. I can't do that.
I mean,
Speak up, please.
Is it John Barry does the soundtrack for this, or?
Oh no, David Arnold.
Yeah. So it sounds very John Barry.
I mean, the love theme that they have for Bond and Paris is nice.
Yeah. One thing I will say, like, what kind of fucking name is Paris? It's the name of a city.
No, some girls are called Paris, but
I know, I know that, but it's just I find it weird when people are called Paris or like you have Dakota Johnson. It's not a proper name. I mean, come on.
you're trying to connect his ears.
Yes, he's had a pierce on his penis.
Yeah, he'll be back for Mamma Mia 2.
God. be honest, I'd rather watch Mamma Mia than this.
You wish you hadn't have said that.
Mark Kermode loved it in a sick, twisted kind of a way.
He loved it, but he hated it.
Yeah.
I think he loved it, like, because it was a good time, but he hated it as a film.
It was so bad it was good.
Yeah. Like, the story is so boring and uncompelling.
It's generic as hell. The plot is just, like I said, it's so stupid. It's so stupid. It's like, you have all these weapons and grand arsenals, and your only ambition is to be the media mogul. It's like, why don't you try and take over the world? Instead, no, I want to have broadcasting rights. That's why I'm causing all this anarchy. Just dumb.
And it's like, I want to take over the world through achieving broadcasting rights, so I will be on the air 24 hours a day. Hurrah! But what are you going to accomplish by doing that?
Yeah, exactly. It's like, if you're going to cause all this mayhem and havoc, why not just take over the world or take over China, become the new leader of China or Britain? Instead, no, I want the broadcasting rights.
So we've watched 48 minutes of this film.
Yeah.
Like, it's so boring.
I have to say, this film's dated badly. It just reeks of 90s.
It's not aged well for 20 years.
Yeah. I mean, something like The Spy Who Loved Me, that's aged incredibly well. I'm surprised Alan...
That's like 40 years ago.
Yeah. I'm surprised Alan prefers this to The Spy Who Loved Me, but fair enough. I mean, Alan just thinks Spy Who Loved Me is, like, good, but not great.
Good. Fair enough. Some fans don't dig it. I do.
Yeah.
I don't dig...
Yeah.
like...
Yeah, I'm not bashing Alan, but... I'm not bashing Alan. I just don't see how you could rate this over The Spy Who Loved Me, but fair enough.
Yeah. I watched Spectre again yesterday, and watching it compared to this, there's a major difference. I mean, people talk shit about Spectre, and Calvin Dyson ranks Spectre really low, but how could he prefer this? I mean, for me, this is way worse than Spectre.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I'm sorry, Spectre at least had an engaging story, and I mean, I just think people just with Spectre, they just expected too much. After Skyfall, they were expecting another, groundbreaking masterpiece. It was just supposed to be a fun, enjoyable Bond film, and I can't believe on Rotten Tomatoes, Quantum of Solace is rated higher than that.
Yeah, it's weird. I don't get it.
I mean, when it first came out, it got so many good reviews. It got like 80% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah.
I mean, one thing I will say as well, like Michelle Yeoh, no offense to her, but she's not the most attractive Bond girl.
Yeah, she wasn't high for her looks.
Yeah.
I mean, the soundtrack.
No.
Wait, the soundtrack is a mixed bag. Parts of it are really good. Parts of it are way too techno.
Yeah. I mean, this action scene here is just a video game. One thing I don't get is like...
We got this level, then we got this level. It's like, can you tell a story? No.
Yeah.
This would be alright as a Bond video game. But
yeah.
No.
Not only that, but like, why is Michelle Yeoh wearing like a leather outfit? It's like, do you want to look conspicuous?
No.
It's just so ridiculous.
And yet they don't chase after her, they only chase after Bond.
Yeah. My word is my bond.
I walk alone.
I mean, that's the thing. The first 48 minutes, nothing happens, and then they try and throw all this action on the screen without any substance.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, an action scene in Bond, there has to be some kind of meaning behind it, or some kind of substance to justify the action. Like in The Spy Who Loved Me, like in The Spy Who Loved Me, you have that ski chase, but there's a reason for it, A lot of the action in this film is just no reason for it other than having an action scene.
Yeah. I mean, I can't even understand why Bond is in this location. We're not really told anything.
Ugh.
Oh, they'll print anything these days. Ugh.
You know what? You know what would have been a better line. Instead of they'll print anything these days, he should have said, "What's black and white and red all over?"
Yeah.
Yeah. Instead of they'll print anything these days. What? Because you see the blood in the newspaper, he should have just said, "What's black and white and red all over?" That would be better than that.
That would actually. Da, 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 da.
Oh my! Yeah, I mean it's like another action.
I've never actually been bored of this movie.
Yeah, it's just we got another action scene here now. And this is stupid. Like he's on this little cart thing. Why is he on this little trolley thing?
Nice music, David Arnold, but the scene itself is.
Yeah. I have to say this is such a paint by numbers Bond film. It's just such a generic Bond film. I think you're right. Roger Spottiswoode just said, "Let's make another
film." Yeah.
It's like Roger Spottiswoode just said to himself, "Let's make like you said, let's just make another Bond film."
Like nothing happens. Nothing's happened for the first half of this film.
Yeah. It's just boring, and then they try to throw in all this action on the screen. It doesn't work.
And now we find out, oh no, Paris is dead. Oh shit, I really didn't want her to die.
Yeah.
She's a boring character anyway.
Not only that, but like, why is Stamper on the roof? Sit outside in the radio, outside the building, and say he's coming. No, it's like, oh, he's on the roof. It has to be dramatic.
Oh god. Yeah. I mean, my parents don't like this one. They like most of the Bond movies, but they don't like Tomorrow Never Dies.
Oh, have you watched it with them?
No. They said to me, they just told me that the one with the media tycoon is their least favourite. Oh, Tomorrow Never Dies.
Yeah. But what did they say they didn't like about it? Did they say, or they just said
details? They just said it wasn't. They just didn't think it was very good.
Did they laugh at the Ellie Carver's death?
I don't know. I haven't watched it with them because they told me they don't.
I'm really surprised Calvin Dyson puts this above Spectre. Really, I'm sorry, but this is just so generic. It's nothing. I mean,
it's something clever,
Yeah, I mean, I know Calvin Dyson's a Brosnan fan, but really, you put this shit over Spectre? Like, ugh.
Well, almost a game-changing Bond movie.
I mean, the only ones who really seem to like it are you, me, Alan, and Harry. I mean, it's me and Harry's favorite Bond film.
Yeah.
Yeah, like what the fuck is he doing here? He's sniffing her. Like, what the fuck? He's sniffing her.
Oh.
Like,
I mean, I do have a couple of friends that do really like Spectre, and my parents did like it as well. They thought it was very good.
Yeah, and Mark Commode loved it. I mean, that's why I don't understand. When it first came out, when it first got released in the UK, the reviews were so great. The reviews were amazing, but then when it got released in America, the reviews just went down and down. Well, it wasn't trying to be as good as Skyfall. And this guy here, Dr. Kaufman, he's so pointless.
Dr. Kaufman. Like, what is the point of this character? Why is he in the film? Yeah.
Give me your gun and pass it over, yeah? Yeah, he's in it for one scene and then he dies.
This is so silly. Not be out of place in a Connery or Moore movie. To put it in a 90s Brosnan movie, it doesn't work.
Not only that, but his character's only in the film for like one scene.
Yeah. Yeah, we should do a commentary on War for the Planet of the Apes sometime.
Yeah, I'll have to get that on Blu-ray.
I would advise you. It looks bloody good.
Yeah, I might just wait. Have they released all the films now, including War?
Yeah, well, they haven't got all 9 in the box yet, but you can get the trilogy, the new trilogy, and maybe films like the first 5.
I think I'll get all 8 films on Blu-ray and War separately in Blu-ray.
Yeah,
I've still got I've got all the DVDs up to Dawn. I just need to replace them with the Blu-ray.
Oh, fair enough. I don't want the Tim Burton one, so I've got films 1 to 5, and then I bought the 3 new ones separately.
I mean, for me, it's just like, you may as well just include it in the box set anyway, the Burton one.
Yeah, but
sake.
Yeah, but it sucks.
Well, I mean, but going by that logic, then you should just chuck out Battle and Conquest.
Yeah, the thing is, I can't because it's part of a. It's only a disc in a box set.
Yeah, Kaufman, like, what is the point of his character? He's just like, oh, hello, Mr. Bond. I am Dr. Kaufman.
You know
I killed Paris.
Now. I've lost interest.
It's just boring. It's so boring.
Yeah, it used to be quick, but now it's not. Yeah?
I do it, yeah. The guy does the accent. His accent just slips.
He's not actually German, is he?
No. I'm doing a job.
Me too. No, that was good, actually.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's the only good line and moment in the film.
From Brosnan, yeah. He says, I'm just a professional doing a job. Me too. Oh. Get away from me.
Yeah, what? Yeah, why? I don't understand that. When he finds Paris dead, like, why does he put her head in her hair and, like, start, like, touching her face and all that? It's just like, is he a necrophile? Dr. Kaufman, that Stamper's just pointless villain. I agree with you. This film's just boring. I've just lost interest. There's nothing happening. All that's happened so far is Bond's been to a party and he's got chased by some of Elliot Carver's henchmen. That's it.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I just can't get into it.
The remote control car, it's just so stupid. It's like, what next? Is he going to have a remote control, like, missiles? Is he going to have a remote control helicopter?
What's next? The flying car?
Yeah. I mean, we'll get the invisible car. We got the invisible car in Die Another Day. It's just so silly. It's like a remote control car. Come on.
Yeah. I mean, it's not quite as ridiculous as Die Another Day, but it is still silly, and it's a Bond film that's so uneventful. Like you said, it's generic. It's basically another run-of-the-mill entry. It's a nothing movie.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't shit on the series like Die Another Day, which is why I take it over Die Another Day. But still, it adds nothing to the Bond film series.
I mean, it is. I mean, I'm not afraid to say it. It's crap. I'm sorry, it's crap. I know Alan likes it, and I know my cousin Ian likes it, but I'm sorry, it's terrible. It's nothing.
Yeah.
I mean, just because it came out the same year I was born doesn't mean I have any affection for it. I mean, I'm sorry, but all the gadgets in his car, it's like a wacky races cartoon.
I mean, the world is not enough. At least it has a story. I mean, it's not much of a story, but it's a story.
Yeah, I mean, this action scene, it's like a wacky races cartoon. Like, it's Dick Dastardly and Muttley. Like, it's just a cartoon. I mean, I'm sorry, but the Brosnan era is just a cartoon, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, I used to like the action, but looking back on it, the action does nothing for me.
Yeah. What the fuck? How can he reinflate his tires after he's been through spikes?
That's not realistic. How would it work?
I mean, the action's just there to be there. There's no reason for all this action. It's just there for it to be there.
It's just, it's a Bond movie. We need action.
Yeah. I mean, what I don't understand is Bond's in the car. Why use that remote? Why not just use the fucking wheel and drive the car yourself? Why do you need that fucking remote thing when you're in the car?
How does that pad control, all the pedals and the clutch and the gear stick and the wheel?
Yeah,
How does it control all of that?
exactly. Yeah. It's not only that, but it's like, if he's in the car, you may as well just use the wheel yourself. If you're in the car, you may as well just drive the car yourself. I would understand if he's not in the car, but the fact is he's in the car. Like, oh.
And he lets it go off.
I mean, this is just like a video game. I mean, it's pointless.
Da-da, da-da. Am I supposed to be thrilled by this because the whole thing's playing? Sorry.
I mean, going into this film, I thought it might be better than I remembered, but it's actually worse.
Yeah.
Oh, this is so stupid.
Yeah.
Like, why would you deliberately destroy a car shop?
It's just like
he drives.
Oh, it's just meant as a joke. Is it going into a car shop?
Yeah, Avis. Yeah, I know. I'll destroy this car shop. Ho ho ho.
Oh, I mean, I wouldn't give this film a 0. I wouldn't call it that. I might give it like a 2 out of 10, maybe, just because of Judi Dench and the music and some of the action. But that's really it. There's nothing else that I like about it. I mean, some of Brosnan's delivery is all right, but it's not really enough to save the film. Yeah. And why have we got Jack Wade? No one wanted to see this guy return. Oh, God. Jack Wade. Jack Wade was featured like briefly in GoldenEye, but I don't know why the hell he's in this movie. He doesn't do anything, and he doesn't add to the story, or well, I say lack of story. This film doesn't even have a compelling story to tell. But yeah. I don't know that Jack would agree with me in that. Jack Wade is a well, probably one of the most pointless allies for Bond in all of his films. Yeah, by this point, just bored. Done. Bored with this film. It's been on for just over half its runtime. Nothing's happened. I don't care. Nothing's happened. It's, it's a Bond movie that has nothing standing out. And really, it's poor. It's a poor excuse for a Bond film. It really is. And, I mean, I don't blame Brosnan for the way this film turned out. And, Brosnan's performance being slightly wooden, I don't blame him completely. But, yeah, the filmmaking for the Bond movies in the 90s just seemed to take a real dip. Well, the 90s and 2002 especially. Oh. Yeah. Now Bond is going underwater. I mean, this Bond movie could be watched as a guilty pleasure, and if some people can do that, fair enough, good for them. But for me, I couldn't. I can't get into it. Even if I was drunk, I probably wouldn't watch this movie again. But oh well, hey ho, that's the way it is. I mean, it's 20 years old actually as well. This one, it has not aged well at all, and it really shows. Joe Don Baker does look quite old by this point. I mean, it was only 10 years prior when he did the Living Daylights, and he played Brad Whitaker, the arms dealer, and obviously he came back for the Brosnan films to play Jack Wade, only in GoldenEye and Tomorrow Never Dies, thankfully. But yeah. The movie's not badly shot. Technically speaking, it's not bad. It's quite good. It's well staged. I mean, the action is well staged, and the camera work is somewhat impressive, but it's just one of the most forgettable entries into the Bond series, and I don't quite understand why, to be honest. I mean, I agree with Jack. After the Dalton era, the Brosnan era just tried to play it safe a bit too much. Although GoldenEye was intriguing for what it was. I do think GoldenEye is probably the most overrated entry into the series, but it's still a good film. I still like GoldenEye, but I don't love it. And I think, although I think it's way better than this, than Tomorrow Never Dies, which, is just, it's just appalling. I'm just so bored. I'm sorry. I'm just really, really bored. Well, this is an impressive piece of stunt work, but where's the story? Where's the story? I would take The World Is Not Enough over this because it at least has a better story and you can follow it a bit better. And although it does drag, The World Is Not Enough. I mean, Brosnan's Bond era, it's such a shame the way it turned out, really. Because Brosnan could have been a great Bond. There could have been, there was potential for his era to really go far. I mean, I know that he has his share of fans, and that's fine. If you're a fan of Brosnan, great. I'm glad you saw things that I didn't. But I wish the Brosnan era would have turned out a bit better. He's only really got one good film for me, and that's GoldenEye. The rest of his era is pretty rubbish, to be honest. Although I think The World Is Not Enough is okay.
I'm back. Sorry about that. My cousin was on the phone, so I had to answer it.
That's all right. You just missed Jack Wade.
Oh, Jack Wade.
He's a pointless character. I don't know why they brought him back as well after GoldenEye.
I mean, Jack Wade is trying to be like the Sheriff J.W. Pepper of the Brosnan films, but it just doesn't work.
Yeah. He must have finished his gardening.
Not only that, but it's like, why would you bring back the guy who played, the main villain in Living Daylights as
Brad Whitaker?
Yeah. Why would you bring back the guy who played a villain in a Bond film as a comedy character?
Look, this is just like For Your Eyes Only.
Yeah.
Ugh.
I mean, this underwater stuff, it's okay, but I don't see the point in it.
It reminds me too much of For Your Eyes Only.
Thunderball.
Well,
yeah, I mean, I think for me, this is probably, after Die Another Day, it's probably the most generic film in the Bond franchise. I mean, I think I was a bit too harsh on The World's Not Enough. I mean, that's not a good film, but I mean, at least that had a better plot than this.
yeah. I mean, this isn't anything to get offended by, but it's just very unremarkable.
Yeah, it's crap. That's what it is. I'm sorry. It's just, generic Bond film, stupid plot, just action after action scene after action scene, and it gets boring.
I agree.
Not only this, but this is the Bond film where Brosnan ditches the PPK.
That probably wasn't his own choice. It was probably the writers or Roger Spottiswoode.
It was funny in your review, like, Brosnan ditches the PPK. How dare you? How fucking dare you?
Yeah. Well, it is offensive. That is the one thing that I hate about this film. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just not the same. Like, why? Like, does he get it back in the next movie? I don't know.
I mean, the thing is, that's his signature gun.
Why would
He's
he
had
pick
that?
it?
Yeah, he's had it since Dr. No, and then they decided to get rid of it. Ugh. The one-liners here are crap. Like, oh, I see we've grown a certain attachment to each other.
We've got a certain attachment to each other.
God.
Uh-oh.
Oh, God. Stomper.
By Stamper.
Sorry. His name's crap anyway. I mean, Stamper, what is he, like a post office stamper?
Stamper, Stomper, Stinker, I don't know what he's called. Ugh.
Waylon. God.
Waylon. Following me around, Mr. Bond.
I think Michelle Yeoh's a bit too old for Brosnan as well. Oh God, got a certain attachment to each other.
Attachment to each other.
Jesus.
I think she's actually quite wooden in this film.
Yeah.
I didn't know about that. I tell you what, following me around, Mr. Bond. She talks like a robot.
And to be honest, Michelle Yeoh isn't the most attractive Bond girl.
Yeah.
I mean,
What's with Carver's building? Like, what the fuck?
yeah, why is it all Chinesey?
What the fuck? I thought he hated the Chinese.
Well, I suppose because I don't know. What the fuck?
Maybe they've...
Not only that, but like, Brosnan, button up your fucking shirt. I can see your gorilla hair.
It's Planet of the Apes now. Oh.
I hadn't intended opening in this center until tomorrow, but as you're...
I mean, one thing I don't get is like, 1 minute he's in Paris or whatever the fuck, and then the next minute, you know, Carver's in China. How the fuck did he know that Bond was going to be there?
Oh, I don't know.
Ugh. It's like there's no fucking drama when Paris dies. Like, I don't give a shit. I'm sorry. I mean, the film tries to make you feel emotion, but you just don't.
No, I mean, no one cares about Paris anyway. She's in the film for about 10 minutes and then dies.
We'll always have Paris.
Old news, Elliot.
I mean, Wei Lin. I mean, I'm sorry, but Michelle Yeoh, yeah, you're right. She's wooden and she has no character. All she does is, you know, all she is there for is for the kung fu. I mean, I realize that's part of the reason she's there, but that's all her personality is.
Yeah.
Kung fu.
It is quite funny when later on he does take the piss out of her, but he goes,
The Empire will strike back. Oh, God. Actually, that reminds me, I have to review that tonight.
Oh, you're going to review it tonight?
Yeah.
Nice.
Ilyakava.
And you become the new supreme allied.
Yo!
Also, Stamper, like, he wears so many different costumes. I've only just noticed that.
Yeah.
His outfits are all
But he's rubbish. I mean, all he does is show up in a couple of scenes and that's it, and has a short fight with Bond at the end. That's it.
Yeah, and the guards are useless. They look like postmen.
Yeah. I mean, can you imagine Postman Pat coming up, or like Postman Pratt?
Postman Pat, and his black and white Pratt.
Postman Twat.
Yeah.
Mr. Stamper and his toys. I mean, I like Jonathan Pryce, but his villain is nothing.
Yeah, he's one of the worst Bond villains. I'm sorry. It's not because of Jonathan Pryce. It's because of the way they wrote the character.
Yeah.
At least Jonathan Pryce...
Stamper... Is it just me, but do you think... I think they only got the actor who played Stamper. I only think the reason they got him was because he has two different coloured eyes. Like, you see there, he has like a blue eye and a brown eye. They probably thought, oh, that looks cool, that looks threatening.
Yeah.
Let's use him as a Bond henchman.
Maybe they did that digitally. I don't imagine that would be the real colours.
Oh, no, you can get people with like a brown eye and a blue eye, or like a green eye and a blue eye.
Oh, maybe.
When you remove Mr. Bond,
Fair enough.
there should just be enough time for him to watch his stuff.
I mean, Elliot Carver as well, he does nothing. Like, he's not a physical threat to Bond. All he does is just stand around with an iPad or whatever the fuck it is. Like...
In Mark Mode criticised Quantum of Solace for being like talking, you know, and then action. I think that's what this film does.
Yeah, I mean, Roger Spottiswoode, his act. Like, I mean, this is just an action scene for the sake of it. It's just generic. Like, this action scene is so stupid. Like, when they jump off the building, like holding onto the banner or whatever, that's so dumb.
Use the banner.
Yeah. Hope it holds.
Hope it holds.
Yeah, this action scene is so dumb.
Oh!
This is such a stupid action scene.
I mean, how would they? They wouldn't survive that.
No, they wouldn't. They would fall to their death. Like once the whole thing would have ripped off, they would have fallen to their deaths. Oh, isn't it convenient that the banner stopped ripping as soon as it got to the bottom?
And how the hell do they get down? Obviously, they have to go through the window.
Oh, pardon me, I just had to drop in. That'd probably be one of the lines they would use in this film.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, this is so stupid when they smash through the window.
The window would be stronger than that. That's
Not
not real.
not only that, but Bond and Wei Lin, they'd be cut to pieces. I mean, they're wearing shirts. They would
The
have
only
bits
way
of...
they would have got through is if somebody would have opened the window for them to go through.
Not only that, but if they smashed through that window, they would have been cut to pieces. There would have been glass inside them.
Yeah.
So
And they're still handcuffed.
stupid. Yeah. Oh, this is very funny. Not. God.
Now we've got another action scene.
Yeah. It's just action for the sake of it. There's no stakes to this action. Could you imagine it was like Roger Moore from Spy Love Me, woman drivers?
A woman?
Yeah, I mean, she's no good head.
Yeah.
I mean, then again, does Wei Lin give good head? We don't know.
Yeah. You're right, this is just like a shoot 'em up action movie. There's no sense of stakes, there's no sense of plot, there's no sense of like driving this movie forward.
It's just action. They just put in this action for the sake of it.
This is where the franchise begins to fall into disarray. It just doesn't know what to do. It's like, let's make another one.
Yeah. They played it too safe at the Brosnan movies. They just went too safe. Like after the Dalton films took a lot of risks, they thought, oh, we better not take many risks, so let's be more formulaic. Oh, God.
Yeah. Like, Brosnan has no chemistry with Michelle Yeoh. They've got no chemistry.
Yeah. This action scene's just so, it's so dumb.
Yeah. I mean, it's well done. The action thing is well done, but I just don't care.
Yeah, it's just action and set piece after action set piece. Like,
it is
going
like
from level 1 to level 2 to level 3 to level 4. You know. I mean, this is like watching an Uncharted game where it's just constant action after every level. That's not a bad thing for a video game, but not for a movie.
Yeah. Yeah, because the video game is interactive. You're playing it. This, you're watching it. And you're watching it for 2 hours, you know.
It's like watching Uncharted action, you know. I mean, it's fine for Uncharted because, like, the action's fun and, yeah, you're right, it's interactive. This, you're just, like, watching somebody playing Uncharted or something. Yeah, I mean, look at this. Like, you have them jumping out of the thing, then you have them driving, and now you have them on the roof of the helicopter. It's like, you know, it's like Roger Spottiswoode's like, oh, I don't know how to write a good script. I don't know how to make the movie intriguing. I know, we'll just have an action scene in there.
I mean, we've watched most of this film. It's 1 hour, 21 minutes. We've only got 40 minutes left.
I mean, it's faster than the first half of the movie, but that's because it's just action, and it gets boring. Like, you know, you have to spread out the action evenly. You can't just have an hour of nothing and then an hour of just action. That's what the film is. It's like half of it is nothing and half of it is just constant action.
I mean, to be fair, this was the 18th film of the series, so I bet viewers probably thought, well, the franchise is running out of steam now.
Yeah, I mean, by the 20th film, Die Another Day, they really knew it was running out of steam.
Yeah, they thought, well, it was just more of the same. But with Die Another Day, it was shitting all over the 40th anniversary.
Yeah.
Reference after reference after reference. At least this movie doesn't have that, you know.
No, but that action scene there was so stupid. He drove through the roof and he's okay. Like what? How's the bike not broke? How's he not hurt? I mean, you said it, and I agree with you. Brosnan in his Bond films, he's just a rubber action man. Like this action is just, I mean, it's not bad, but it goes on way too long, and it's just so over the top.
Yeah, the bike chase has gone on way too long,
and it's just so over the top. I mean, even the Daniel Craig films wouldn't be this over the top.
Yeah,
the action.
I mean, they're more realistic anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's so stupid. Like, the guy in the helicopter is using the propeller. It's like he's trying to like kill. Is he deliberately trying to kill those people in the? Is he deliberately trying to kill these people in the market? Does he know that he'll go to jail and get Elliot Carver in trouble? Makes no sense.
Nancy, hold on.
Ugh. It's so dumb.
Sorry, Mr. Bond. I work alone. Surely they can unhandcuff themselves,
Ugh.
What the fuck? Trapped!
No offense to Michelle Yeoh, but that's some shit acting. Trapped. Yeah. Is that it?
Trapped. Yes, like what the fuck? What the hell? No, we're trapped. Oh no, we're trapped. It's just the word. Trapped. Random.
Oh, this scene is so stupid. Where like he dives under the helicopter. Oh, give me a fucking break. This is so dumb. This is such a stupid action scene.
Whoa!
This movie is I mean, no offense to the people involved, but this film's a fucking train wreck.
Yeah, I mean, they all worked really hard on it, making the action look good, but it's just the story.
Not only that, but it's like Bond and them like having a shower together. Oh, look, it's supposed to be sexy. I don't get anything out of it.
I mean, she's not got a bad body.
She's not the worst looking Bond girl, but she's not like, I wouldn't say Michelle Yeoh's the most attractive either. She's okay. She's decent, I'll say. Off the cuff? Oh, God. I thought we'd link up. Christ. Hand in hand? This dialogue fucking reeks. You there, Ollie?
Yeah.
No, you missed a line. He said, I thought we'd meet off the cuff, link in link. And she said, yeah, hand in hand. It's like, oh, God.
I work alone, Mr. Bond.
I'm Batman. Ugh. This movie's a piece of shit.
No.
I mean, this is not how you make a Bond film. And yeah, now we have Brosnan with his shirt open, showing off his gorilla hair. Thanks to Bond, but he sticks out like a sore thumb. You'd think he would try to get a disguise. Oh, well, after you only live twice, maybe that wasn't the best idea.
Yeah. I mean, especially after the bike chase where he's just destroyed most of the town. So
yeah,
want to arrest him, but maybe not.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. Don't the Chinese want to arrest Elliot Carver for destroying like half the town and putting a lot of? I mean, it's just another action scene again. Like, God's sake.
It's had a long bike chase.
Not only that, but it's like, what is this now? A Jackie Chan movie? Like, I mean, we just had the bike chase. You thought maybe we'd have maybe 5 or 10 minutes of dialogue or some plot exposition. No, we got another action scene again. Ugh.
I mean, Quantum of Solace is the shortest Bond movie. But
yeah.
It has probably the same amount of action, but at least it tells the story better. And
yeah, I'm sorry, but
yeah,
I really don't understand how some people would say this is better than Spectre. I mean, Spectre at least had a story, it had intrigue. It wasn't an action movie You know, that was just, you know, action scene after action scene.
I mean,
a
it
stupid
wasn't
arse plot.
It did have action, and when the
Yeah.
action was there, it was awesome.
Yeah.
But this is too much.
Yeah, Sam Mendes, he's a much better director than Roger Spottiswoode.
Yeah, and he's a much better action director.
Yeah.
Spottiswoode.
I mean, Roger Spottiswoode, he just can't develop story. I mean, I know they call Michelle Yeoh the female Jackie Chan, but why do you want martial arts in a Bond film? It's just like this is like crouching whatever, crouching dragon hit.
Bond. And then we find out, oh, she's Chinese Secret Service. What a surprise. Wei Lin. What a stupid name. I'm sorry. I mean, no offense, but it is.
They may as well just have called her Chumi, like the man with the golden gun. He's like, oh, what's your name? Chumi.
They might as well have called her Noodle.
Canoodle or spoon.
I mean, this is sad because this is the Bond movie that they dedicated to Cubby Broccoli.
Imagine they called her fried lice.
Cubby Broccoli would be ashamed of this film.
Yeah.
As with Harry Saltzman, I think they'd both be pretty ashamed of this movie.
Yeah. I mean, Harry Saltzman left the franchise by this time, but I think his last film Harry Saltzman did was Man with the Golden Gun.
Oh yeah, so he must have died by this point.
Yeah. I mean, Michelle Yeoh's not a bad actress, and I don't have anything against the Chinese people, or whatever. But like, why do you need all this like kung fu martial arts shit in a James Bond movie?
It's not right for a Bond film. I mean, it's not her fault. She did her best with what she had, but I think she was a miscast for this particular film.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. Like, she's just. I mean, I know Alan, like I said, he doesn't agree with our criticism, but all she is there for is kung fu and action. That's it. She has no personality. And it's so stupid as well. How can this little hut have all this, like, technology? It's so stupid.
Not even Q Branch has all of this at one time.
Yeah, it's just a little hut in the middle of nowhere, and it has all this technology.
Yeah. Also, what's with the continuity here? Bond did like a PhD in languages. Yeah, he doesn't know how to type in Chinese.
Yeah, he said he knows Mandarin and all that, and he doesn't know what the Chinese symbols.
You know, you only live twice. That's a major continuity error.
Not only that, but it's like Bond. Yeah, it's so stupid. Is this like the Chinese version of Q Branch in her own house?
Yeah, or Hui Branch. Some improvements. I mean,
was a laser watch or some shit. God.
What's with Brosnan's costume there? He's just a bit casually, isn't he?
Yeah. It's so stupid. Like
that line. Always been a fan of Chinese technology.
Oh.
Fan, get it? Fan.
Oh God.
Why don't you run across check and see areas for anything?
God. Jesus. I mean, I'm sorry. I mean, I know some people said, like, I know that one guy, like, oh yeah, this is a bit where he ditches the PPK for the P99. What the fuck?
Done. Roger Spottiswoode. Fuck you. Seriously.
That's Bond. I mean, even WatchMojo.com said that the Walter PPK is the most famous movie gun, and they ditch it for the P99. Like, for fuck's sake. I mean, the PPK didn't return to Quantum of Solace, like nearly over 10 years later.
Yeah, which is ridiculous. Ugh. I mean, nice music and all, but
is this the same location that those rocks? Is that the same location as Man with the Golden Gun, like McCoy or something?
Maybe. It reminds me of We Only Live Twice. You know the beach bit.
Yeah.
Kind of reminds me of that.
Yeah. I mean, this film is just... It's rubbish. I'm sorry. It's just a generic,
it's a
boring arse Bond film. I mean, I mean, talking about the Brosnan era, I know someone ages ago left a comment on our video saying, like, our Brosnan reflection saying, like, how could we praise the Murray era yet bash the Brosnan era? Well, the thing I'll say about the Murray era right now is it was campy, but it did it in a good way. The Brosnan era did the campy in a bad way. I mean, at least with Roger Moore, when he delivered the puns, at least most of the time the jokes were pretty funny. With the Brosnan era, Brosnan has no delivery and his jokes aren't funny. And at least the Moore era knows what it wants to be. The Brosnan era is confused. It doesn't know what it wants to be.
Yeah. Like, so we're going to finish this together.
Yeah, I mean, the Brosnan era is trying to be like the Moore era, but it's 20 years too late. Like,
I mean, all four of his movies have a sense of misdirection. Even to an extent, you know.
Yeah, I mean, Martin Campbell, he did a great job in Casino Royale, but I mean, like, watching Casino Royale and watching GoldenEye, it's like watching two different directors. Like, it really is. Like, when I watch GoldenEye and I watch Casino Royale, it's like it's made by two different filmmakers. I mean, Casino Royale is a really gritty, you know, film. GoldenEye, it's just so weird. Like, you have Xenia on the top, and you have all the weird humor and stuff. Like,
yeah,
and the odd soundtrack, the Eric Serra, you know, the It's just me, but like hard. I mean, they've already got to the base. It just seems quite anticlimactic that they've already got to the base.
Yeah, but to be honest, I want to get this film over with.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is actually one of the shortest Bond movies. That, like, literally just a minute under 2 hours. It feels like they kind of rushed it as well.
Yeah, I mean, I think this ending is like, I mean, he's only been with Wei Lin like 5 or 10 minutes, and already they've found the base.
Yeah, and the big action climax takes up like the last half an hour of the film.
Yeah,
that's
I just think it's ridiculous how this media mogul has access to these weapons carriers and all this weapon and arsenal and artillery and all that.
Yeah, I mean, if he wasn't a media tycoon, you kind of understand it, but because he's in charge of a media company, what use would he have for submarine?
Not only that, but how could he get access to all these weapons and stuff without people realizing?
Yeah.
Like, how would people not? Like, wouldn't people just say, "Hang on a minute, you want a newspaper? Why would we sell weapons to you?" And like I said, it's like your only ambition is to take over the media. That's it. You know, no world domination. No, I'm going to take over the media. Ugh.
Stupid.
The movie's boring. Like,
it's so boring and uncompelling.
What the hell do I pay you for?
Damn, I find them. Bond is there.
You know when Elliot Carver said, "What the hell do I pay you for?" That's probably what the Bond producers were thinking when they were making this film.
Yeah, what the hell do I pay you for? He gets captured so easily. Pretty useless for Chinese Secret Service.
Yeah. I mean, Stamper, he's useless. He's so useless as a Bond henchman. Yeah, I mean, like, when Elliot Carver said, "What the hell am I paying you for?" That's probably what the Bond producers were thinking when they hired Roger Spottiswoode.
Bye.
I don't care for the action in this movie. The action is there's no stakes to it. How does Bond know the Stamper's there? Amp it up, action man. Delicious. That's just a weird line. Delicious. What?
What?
Oh, what? No, can you imagine? It's like, oh, we found the girl delicious. I like a bit of Chinese.
Oh, God. Pathetic.
It's like, It's like take her away, like a Chinese takeaway.
Oh, this thing cracks me up when he takes the piss out of her.
My government knows you're out here. They're looking for you. Not according to our radar, where it seems your medics are about to attack the British fleet in Gupta. How many minutes? 9 minutes.
Gupta.
9 minutes to firing.
He's so pointless.
He doesn't do anything.
They can't see me. I'm invisible. Oh God. It's like ha ho ha he. We just.
Pathetic.
It's kind of funny. Pathetic.
M's pissed off.
I like Judi Dench in this film, but she's hardly in it. That's one thing I will say. She's only at the start and at the end.
Yeah, I think she's in like 3 scenes overall.
Yeah. I mean, that's one thing I like about the Craig films is she's in those films a lot more. She has a lot bigger role to do.
Yeah.
I mean,
she is in the next film quite a lot. The World's
yeah,
Not Enough.
I mean, to be honest, it was nice to have Judi Dench in The World's Not Enough, but like, why was she even in that? Like why did she go out into the field? You know, she's the head of MI6. You know, you're risking your life going out into the field. Same in Die Another Day. Like,
well, the thing is, with World's Not Enough, you know, she's connected to Elektra, so it kind of makes sense. But with Die Another Day, yeah, it was pointless. But yeah, I mean, with the Craig movies, obviously with Skyfall, it was more important. The plot was revolving around her, so you kind of needed her to be in that. And also in, you know, Casino Royale, you know, Bond has just been promoted, so, you know, she needed to keep her eye on him. And also in Quantum of Solace, when Bond is killing everybody, she's trying to keep him under a tight noose, and then she has to go there and personally bring him in. So I guess that makes sense. To me, it does anyway. I do quite like the design of the base. You know, it's quite well designed. It's well done. It's not one of the best designed things from a Bond film, but it will certainly do. I mean, you know, Peter Lamont's production design is good enough. So I think Ken Adam did a lot of the great works for the earlier films from the Connery and Roger Moore era, and obviously Lazenby's film, The On Her Majesty's Secret Service, as well. So yeah.
Interesting plan. Have something here that belongs to you. So much for German.
Oh God, this film is just boring. And we've still got about 20 minutes of it left. It just goes on and on and on. Just action, action, action. There's nothing else.
Welcome to my world crisis, Mr. Bond. Even trade, Elliot. Gupta for Wei-Lin. Not fire the missile without
Gupta for Wei-Lin.
What are you waiting for? Shoot him. I told you. We're going to finish this together. How romantic.
How romantic. We're going to finish this together. Starting a war for ratings.
William Randolph Hearst told his photographers, you provide the pictures. I'll provide the war. I've just taken it one step further. Sorry about that. I tuned out there for a moment, Elliot.
Touche.
Is the missile ready to fire?
I can see why some people would get a kick out of the action scenes, but for me, I'm just bored of it now. It's just not done anything to me. I do think the film's rubbish. Sorry, but it is. I mean, I will say this climax is quite good. You know, it's entertaining, but there's no stakes involved in it. There's no drama in this film. Well, not enough drama for me to really care about what's going on. I didn't care about the characters. I didn't care about screen. I mean, the action looks great, but there's not much else to it, really.
Human terror ships do not fire on the Chinese for any reason whatsoever. Send the message in the clear to the Chinese fleet commander. Have sighted unknown ship. Let us fire attack! Get down there and protect the missile from Mr. Stepper. Kill those bastards.
Mr. Stamper, would you please kill those bastards? Jonathan Pryce really is giving it his all. In this part, which is really not very good at all. It's not been written very well, but in the performance, at least he is doing all he can to make it work. Ugh.
I'm going to stop the missile.
Oh, God. Don't know where Jack's gone. He's still muted himself.
Captain Sir, shooter from the Chinese fleet commander. To Royal Navy Task Group, we also have the unknown ship on our screens. We will not fire China until then she's yours. Hunting. Now, Captain.
Good hunting.
Whatever the hell that thing is, sink it. Right, sir.
Sink it. Captain goes down with his ship, as the saying goes. There they go. The old flare.
Turned us into the target, along with himself. Take a base eventually.
One thing I'll say is I do like the lighting in this scene. The lighting on Carver's ship is quite good. The blue sort of. It gives it kind of a neon luminous effect. It looks quite good, I think. It doesn't make up for this film, but it's something nice to look at, I guess.
I'm back. Sorry, I was at the toilet.
It's okay. Can't have you checking yourself, can we?
It's me, but like, it's pretty obvious that Stealth Boat's a model. It's pretty obvious that Stealth Boat is a model.
No, yeah. Yeah. I'm surprised it wasn't CGI.
Yeah.
I mean, the climax is good and all, but there's no stakes in it.
Yeah, it's just action scene after action scene. But not only that, but it's like, oh, she has two guns and she's jumping in slow motion, shooting at them.
But that's like a John Woo movie.
Yeah. It's trying to be more like like a martial arts film than a Bond film.
Just because it sounded like, yeah.
Ja! Yeah. Trapped.
I think she's ridiculous. I mean, I'm sorry. It's not nothing against her. It's like they tried to make her unintentionally funny.
Yeah, that Jonathan Pryce scene was hilarious. Like, hoya, hiya, pathetic.
Pathetic. Piss out of her. It's one of the best scenes in the film, actually.
Yeah, I mean, look at this as well. Bondy is machine gun his PPK, and it's like, oh, look, we're going to make this an action film, guys. Let's ramp up the action.
All action.
Yeah, this is just, I'm sorry, this is just an action video game. It's a video game. It's just action scene after action scene after action scene.
What did Roger Ebert think of this film?
Oh, I don't know, but I know Gene Siskel liked it.
What, Siskel liked it?
Gene Siskel, yeah.
Oh. Well, I can't think of why.
I don't know, maybe they just enjoyed it being an action romp, but...
people talked about Wei Lin, getting her own spin-off or her coming back for another film. I can't see that happening. Why? Why would you want that?
Yeah. I mean, Stamper, he's just rubbish. He's just crap.
You just want to fucking squash him.
Yeah, you want to stamp on him.
Bang, smash,
you want to stomp on Stamper. I mean,
yeah.
Look at this. The thing that annoys me as well is there's not a scratch on Bond. On him.
Always.
Yeah. I mean, at least with the Daniel Craig Bond films, you can feel the pain, you can feel the hurt when Bond gets shot or punched or kicked or you know, like with the Brosnan films, he's just this rubber action man.
Yeah, like what is with this slow motion editing? Those random shots when you see.
I think it was the 90s. Like this is a couple of years before the Matrix, and it's weird. Like a lot of 90s films, they slowed down the action because they thought it looked cooler.
Yeah.
They did the same with Death Wish 5. Like they slowed down the action in that as well. Same with the Matrix.
Bang! Fire! Oh.
This film is on fire. More like
your film is on fire.
Keep firing.
Take on me.
Take on me. Golden price. Oh dear.
The price is right.
Yeah. 2 for the price of 1. Lol. How did you survive that? Come on.
Yeah.
It's not realistic whatsoever. Yeah,
I mean, for me, Elliot Carver as a physical threat is about as much use as Dominic Green as a physical threat. You there? Looks like Ollie had to die another. Oh, he's here.
Sorry about that. I've just been called.
Michelle Yeoh.
How to kill me, Mr. Bond.
Oh my!
No, I would have rather seen Michelle Yeoh play a villainess.
Yeah, should have been better.
Villain, you know.
Brosnan swinging on the chain. Oh.
I mean, you know, people complain about Octopussy.
Oh God, this scene. I think we're getting up to the scene now where he kills Elliot Carver.
Yeah.
I mean, look at Bond. There's not a scratch on him.
And he just punches him, and he gets him on the floor.
Yeah. Oh, there's a bit of blood now, surprisingly.
Oh God, this. Yeah. I'm not looking forward to this scene.
Can you imagine if he said, "You have a nasty habit of surviving"?
You have a nasty habit of fucking women.
Thanks largely to your efforts, the British Navy will destroy the evidence.
God.
In a Carver News helicopter covering the event.
God.
It's going to be a fantastic
Oh,
show.
this scene's so bad.
They have some breaking news for you, Elliot.
You forgot the first rule of mass media, Elliot.
First rule of mass media, Elliot.
Give the people what they want.
Give the people what they want. No,
Get out of the way. Get out of the way, you idiot.
Oh, that is brilliant. It's so bad. I mean, he has so much time to move out of the way.
Brosnan's line is just so bad. Like, I have breaking news. You forgot the first rule of mass media, Elliot. Give the people what they want.
Give the people what they want.
Let me use that in our recent sketch.
Elliot Carver, he could have moved out of the way. He had more than enough time to move out of the way.
like he's just like screaming there for like 5 seconds. He could have just moved out of the way. Like, just move out of the way.
James, try to detonate those.
Michelle Yeoh's pretty wooden in this.
Yeah.
I mean, Stamper. I mean, he's useless. Fucking useless villain. I'm sorry, but like, he's no Red Grant. He's no Necros. You know.
Oh, this final fight. Oh.
I mean, he's like laughing. He's like, like a fucking cartoon villain. I mean, this is more like James Bond Jr. than it is James Bond.
Yeah, where's the Bugs Bunny turned up? What's up, Doc?
Yeah, what's up, Doc? You're despicable.
Are you an unpleasant death, Mr. Bond? Even the... Even the sound effects are like cartoony as well.
Can you imagine if, like, Daffy Duck or whatever turned up and said, "You're despicable,"
Well, it's the bomb, despicable.
or Porky Pig, that's all, folks. This action scene is crap.
Look at those sound effects.
Yeah, the sound effects. They're like cartoon punch sound effects.
Yeah. Yeah. At least in like the Daniel Craig movies, they put in real sound effects.
Yeah, the sound effects, they sound like what I used in my film, like whoosh, whoosh.
Yeah. You're telling me she's a Chinese Asian, but she can't climb the blooming thing to pull herself out.
Yeah.
This is so stupid.
God. Yeah. I'm sorry, Alan, but I really don't understand how you could put this over to Spy Love Me. Or, I don't know how you could put this in your top 10 Bond films, but fair enough.
Oh, look.
Oh, God. Oh, he's giving her the kiss of life.
Wait, the music is so cheesy there.
Wei Lin, look into my golden eye.
Bye, Stamper.
Can you imagine Brosnan said to Wei Lin, "Look into my golden eye, Wei Lin."
Would you say the music was really sappy there?
Yeah. It's so cheesy. I mean, what is this, Titanic? I'll never let go.
I'll never let go, James. I'll never let go.
Bond just dies. Remember, Wei Lin, that tomorrow never dies.
Yeah, hang on. I'm being called. 1 sec.
Oh, God. This scene is just so cheesy. And it's like, it's such an anticlimactic end of the film. The way Elliot Carver dies and the way Stamper dies, just so anticlimactic. Ugh. How the fuck did they survive the explosion of the ship as well? I don't understand that. Ugh. Oh, well done. Very funny. This is so stupid. I'm sorry to anybody out there who likes this film. And it's so obvious those boats are models. It's so obvious. Let's get undercover. Oh, God. Let's get undercover. Oh, Christ. Way to go. Way to end the movie. I wonder if all these paused this Blu-ray. Oh, Lord. In loving memory of Albert R. Cubby Broccoli. Oh, God. You had to dedicate this piece of crap to him. Ugh. Wow, what a great way to end the movie. Oh, and surrender. I wish I could surrender to the shit of this film. I wish this film would surrender. Wonder where Ollie is. Oh, well. Yeah, but I mean, Tomorrow Never Dies. What a terrible Bourne film. Just fucking awful.
Sorry about that. It's called away.
Is your Blu-ray still going, or did you pause it?
No, it's still going.
Yeah. You had the end credits?
Yeah.
Yeah. Just that ending is so bad where he's like, let's get undercover.
Let's get undercover. God.
Not only that, but like it's so obvious that the ships that are searching for them are models.
Yeah. What, are they going to end up in the model village?
Yeah. I agree with you. They should have used this Surrender song for the main song, not the Shallow Crow.
Now, this is a Bond song.
Yeah.
just when you see the words, in memory of Cubby Broccoli, you're like, no, you are not dedicating this film to that guy.
Yeah, I mean, really? Surrender! Tomorrow never dies!
Stupid.
I mean, I can't believe they dedicated this film to Cubby Broccoli. It says at the end, in loving memory of, dedicated to the loving memory of Albert R. Cubby Broccoli. You're dedicating this piece of crap to that great man. I mean, if Albert or Cubby Broccoli had seen this, he'd probably be disgraced by it.
Yeah.
It's like...
It's just rubbish.
I mean, why would you dedicate this piece of crap to him? Ugh, I mean...
Yeah, it sucks.
Yeah, I mean, if at least you're going to dedicate it to him, make a better movie. Never dies. I mean...
At least GoldenEye has something.
Yeah. I mean, for me, this is easily... I agree with you. This is easily one of the worst Bond films. I think I would rank it the same way you would rank it. Probably put it number 23. I think our bottom two are the exact same. Die Another Day and Tomorrow Never Dies. I mean, I used to give this a bye ball because it was paced better than The World's Not Enough. But looking back at it, at least The World Is Not Enough had Robbie Coltrane, and at least it had a better story than this. I mean... Yeah. The story is just bollocks. I'm going to cost World War III for broadcasting rights. What the fuck? And it's just action scene after action scene. I mean, the first half of the film, nothing happens. And then the second half is an all-out XXX Vin Diesel film.
And that's Tomorrow Never Dies.
Yeah. Happy 20th anniversary.
You fuckers.
Happy...
I mean, Michael G. Wilson and Barbara Broccoli. That was what you thought was good?
Yeah.
Fuck me.
I mean, I really don't understand why people like this film. I mean, I guess for a fun action romp, but even then, I still think the story and everything else just... There's more bad in it than there is good.
Yeah, I can't even enjoy it as a guilty pleasure. I can't get into it.
It's just crap. I mean, I'm sorry. I mean, I know some people probably say, oh, you just hate Brosnan, you're a Brosnan hater. I mean, I'm not. I think Brosnan is, he can be a good actor, and I don't blame him for the scripts. It's just that Tomorrow Never Dies sucks. I mean, GoldenEye, I will admit, I was a bit too harsh on that. I think I gave it 0 when I first reviewed it.
Yeah,
but
even I wouldn't go that far.
I mean, no, I think I'd probably give it a 5 or a 6. It's okay, but Tomorrow Never Dies, I'm sorry, it's rubbish. There's hardly anything good in there. Like, Die Another Day and Tomorrow Never Dies, they are the two stinkers of the Bond franchise. I mean, it's just crap.
Well, it's better than Die Another Day, so there is that.
Well, that's not saying much. I mean, if I had to give it a rating, I'd probably agree with you. I think you gave it in your review like a 2 out of 10. Probably agree with. Yeah. I probably agree with that.
Yeah, and as for Wei Lin, wow.
Like you said, she'll be wailing in the morning when Bond's finished with her.
I mean, he was fucking, they're fucking kissing underwater. He probably made us swallow some seawater or something. I don't know. She would choke to death.
For a minute, I thought you said made her swallow some semen.
Oh, well, that too. Yeah.
Well, literally, there are a lot of semen in this film. A lot of,
he did
British semen in this film.
I mean, the Chinese probably saw this film and thought, what the fuck?
Yeah. And I bet Rupert Murdoch saw this and said, is this supposed to be a parody of me?
Yeah.
I mean, I bet Cubby Broccoli was watching this up in heaven and said, how fucking dare you dedicate this to my memory?
Yeah. You might as well damn me to hell.
It's just, I think if I had to rate the Brosnan era, I'd say GoldenEye a 5 out of 10. Tomorrow Never Dies a 2 out of 10. World's Not Enough a 4 or a 3 out of 10, and Die Another Day -1 million.
So, out of 40?
Well, it's in the negative figures. Yeah,
That kind of says it all then.
yeah. I mean, I did do a colossal rant on Die Another Day. I mean, I'm sticking by -1 million.
Yeah, I gave it 0 out of 10.
Yeah.
I mean, as for me,
I mean,
I'd probably rate GoldenEye. I might be able to scrape it a 7, but I'm not sure.
I'd say a 6 is good enough for me anyway. I say I might give it a 6 or a 5.
Yeah. You know, I'm going to be nice and give it a 7 because I do like some things in GoldenEye. Just about scrapes a 7. Tomorrow Never Dies 2 out of 10. It's rubbish. Don't care for it. World's Not Enough. I think I'll probably give it maybe a 5 out of 10. I think in my review,
Well, that's generous.
I gave it a 6, so I'll bung it down to a 5. And then Die Another Day 0. So 7 plus 2 is 9, plus 5 is 14 out of 40. Because obviously I gave Die Another Day a 0, so
It doesn't even make it to the 50% mark.
Ew. Not quite.
I mean, for me, like I said, I'd probably give GoldenEye a 5 out of 10. Tomorrow Never Dies a 2. World's Not Enough, probably a 4. And Die Another Day minus a million. I can't. I mean, I think even, like I said in my review, I think even me giving it a 0 would be too generous.
Fair enough. So yeah, Tomorrow Never Dies. It's 20 years old and it bloody shows it.
Yeah. I mean, it's the same age as us. I mean, I'm 20 and I think you're going to be 21 in a few months, didn't you say?
Yeah, I'm 21. I'm 21 in February.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's as old as us, but I mean, it's dated badly. It's dated really badly. I mean, it may have came out the same year that I was born, but I don't mean I have any affection for it. Like,
yeah, I was a baby when I saw this at the cinema. Yeah, fucking right.
yeah, I mean, if you look at other anniversaries of Bond films this year, 40th anniversary of Spy Love Me, that has aged much better than this film, and same if You Only Live Twice, that's even aged better than this. You know, apart
I
from
think
Japanese Connery.
Oh god, lol. I think I might join you in re-reviewing some of my Bond films, just because of change of opinions.
Yeah, I mean, you have to re-review Thunderball anyway because of your copyright strike.
Oh, fuck's sake. I mean, I
don't understand that. That was fine for years and then it gets copyright striked.
Bastards. Oh, well. We'll just try it again. Yeah.
I mean, unfortunately, they couldn't try Tomorrow Never Dies again. They couldn't remake that.
No. I wouldn't want them to anyway. Why would you want to remake a crap Bond movie?
Well, I mean, what I mean is remake it and make it a lot better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you need to probably reboot it rather than remake it.
I mean, to be honest, we were just watching a 2-hour video game.
Yeah. And we've finished the end of the level in 2 hours.
Yeah, we beat the boss and we've beaten the fucking game.
Yeah. Well, that pretty much concludes it. Is there anything you want to say, Jack, before we close off?
I walk alone.
Oh, fine. Be like that. Joking. Yeah.
I think we've grown a certain attachment to each other.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean I like the film. Yeah, so Tomorrow Never Dies, in our opinion, sucks. So what do you think of the movie? If you like the movie, that's fine. Tell us why in the comments below. I hope you enjoyed this commentary. Stay tuned for future ones. I think the next Bond one we plan to do is You Only Live Twice. So stay tuned for that. And until then, I'm Ollie, this is Jack, and see ya.